If you get the chance to visit the Lake District, or if you're lucky enough to live as close to the lakes as I do, then you'll know there's an abundance of walks to choose from. Some are lesser known walks, and others are considered must-see by both locals and tourists. This is a popular one. Still no running for me on doctor's orders. I've had some treatment on my back. I've been told that I shouldn't be running for a while bit. I can still go on walks though. Nothing major as far as walks go. Just a chilled out weekend in Ambleside planned with my girlfriend, and we decided we'd stop at Rydal Cave on the way over, or as Wainwright calls it, the Big Cave on Loughrigg. This walk's outlined in Wainwright's Central Fells guide, and the cave actually sits on Loughrigg Fell, just south of Rydal Water. According to the guide, it's the shortest of the Central Fells, making it easily accessible to tourists. Probably a good thing. We don't want inexperienced mountaineers climbing dangerous fells just outside of Ambleside. It's an easily accessible walk. There are a couple of car parks that you could use, and a lot of people make the trip over from Ambleside. It's not too far. We use White Moss car park, which is a pay and display car park. It's not too far from the cave itself, around a mile or 30 minutes or so. So getting there from the car park is pretty easy. You head out of the car park, and the first thing you'll see after a short while is a bridge that takes you over a river, and then you'll start to see signs for Rydal Water. If you follow those, eventually you'll start to see signs for the cave too. You head up onto the side of Loughrigg, and then on the left hand side you'll get a beautiful view of Rydal Water and the fells on the other side of the water, and then before you know it, the cave kind of sneaks up on you. Considering the size of the cave, you'd think you'd see it before you get to it, but it's tucked in there. It's a remarkable cave, and it draws big crowds because it appeared on The Witcher recently. I haven't seen that, but by all accounts they do it justice on the show. Hopefully these shots do the same. Wainwright wrote of the cave, "A detour should certainly be made up Loughrigg quarries, the big upper cave being quite a surprise. There is shelter enough here for the whole population of Ambleside, although admittedly many people would be standing in water." You can see why it's so popular with people, and it is popular with people. We arrived at about 11:30 and the car park was just starting to get busy. By the time we got back to the car, it was chock-a-block. There were people everywhere. The cave when we arrived had around a dozen people knocking about, including one chap struggling to get shots on his drone. I didn't feel like asking everybody to clear out the cave so I could get my pictures. By the time we left the cave, it was like a bus full of people had arrived, and it had really picked up. A dozen or so more people had arrived, and you could see more coming. This is one of the things with walks around Ambleside, because it's so popular with tourists, and rightly so. It's a beautiful place. You get lots of people, and with lots of people comes litter, noise and bad habits. We want people to come and visit the Lake District, but if you do, look after it. If you look closely, you can see lots of little fish have made the cave their home. It's difficult to see when there are dogs splashing around in the water though, as they'll scare them off. But they are there, and the water's crystal clear in the middle. Once you're there, it's just another 5-10 minute drive into Ambleside. We drove over to Ambleside and spent a bit of time in pubs, eating good food and having a couple of drinks. It's a beautiful little town with beautiful little pubs. You get a nice pint in pretty much any of them. Following day we had a little wander around Ambleside. There's a waterfall just up the road from Ambleside which you can reach in about 5 minutes. Again, not a difficult walk. As far as the walk itself, I would say this one's one of the easiest ones we've got. In comparison to some of the really difficult fell walks that we have, getting to Rydal Cave, considering it's not even on the top of Loughrigg, is probably a 2 out of 10 as far as difficulty goes. There were kids and a couple of older people who managed to get up there without too much trouble. It's an easy one, and you can't really go wrong because the path isn't too treacherous either. So yeah, it's Rydal Cave. It's not a secret, it's a pretty well-known one, really popular on Instagram, and you can see why. I'll try and get some more hardcore walks in when my back's healed up and I can take them on. I'll leave you with this quote from Wainwright in the introduction to his guide to the Central Fells. Book 3 is dedicated to those eager explorers of the fells, the dogs of Lakeland. Willing workers and faithful friends, and an essential part of Lakeland life. Fingers crossed I'll be back on my feet and running shortly. As I say, I'm getting some treatment, so it seems to be doing the trick. I just need to ease off until I'm ready to get jogging again. A couple of races coming up that I'm hoping I'll at least be able to attend and plod along, but we'll see. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.